A new Master Duel ban list is here, the final ban list of the year, a very important one because I did reveal that the Mulcharmies are coming in the next pack, the January pack. These are essentially additional copies of Maxx. So Maxx has got to go, and we're going to be running a tournament with the new ban list on this Sunday, $1,000 tournament qualifier, as we also leak more of the January pack on this Sunday on twitch.tv/Decade. Now, let's check out the tier list going into this ban list. The top deck being Tenpai Dragon, Tier 1. Followed by Tier 2, we have Sneak Eye Fire King, Ritual Beast, White Forest, and Yubel. Now, you may be thinking, what the heck? White Forest doing well? It is because we have the Runic deck type with it and the Centurion deck type with it and the Toy Engine, and whether they're using any of those or not, it's all combined in one. So if you think that we should separate them, then maybe we should. So do consider that in the comments. And then we have the Tier 3 decks, Labyrinth, Gimmick Puppet, Voiceless Voice, Snake Eye, and Orchist. Now, let's hop into this ban list. Boom. Starting off with Trickstar Reincarnation from 1 to 3. This trap card states you could banish your opponent's entire hand, and if you do, they draw the same number of cards. You can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one Trickstar monster in your grave, and then special summon it. So right away, I'm thinking, this is not a hard once per turn. We can activate multiple copies. And I'm also thinking with this card being unlimited, that we could use it with something like Transaction Rollback. Now, why would we want to transaction roll back the Trickstar Trap? Well, there's a very powerful combo with the Trickstar Trap. Let's look into it. Trickstar, here we go, Reincarnation. And the combo is going to be with Droll and Lockbird. What you'd want to do is, in order to activate Droll and Lockbird, your opponent has to add a card from their deck to their hand. Well, after that happens, within that window of being able to activate Droll and Lockbird, you do not activate it, you wait. You then activate Trickstar Reincarnation after they add a card. And then you chain Droll and Lockbird to your own Trickstar Reincarnation. And what's going to happen is the Droll and Lockbird is going to turn off the ability for them to draw cards from their deck, but they still have to banish their entire hand. So if you were to activate the Droll and Lockbird early, the Trickstar Reincarnation would not be a legal activation if Droll and Lockbird had already resolved. They have to be able to draw to even use this. But if you chain the Droll to this, it still tries to resolve as much as it can. Banish the entire hand. If you do, they are then going to not draw because of Droll. And I'm thinking about not only Transaction Rollback and Droll and Lockbird, but you could even use Butler. It doesn't have to be within a Labyrinth deck, but I would say that maybe you do want to use this in Labyrinth. Lady Labyrinth could set the Trickstar Reincarnation from the deck, and now that there's 3 copies, it's going to also, another one, Trap Tricks, right? Trap Trick. You could Trap Trick, and the other one is like Trap Track, I think. Trap Track. Do you? What's that card called? I'm forgetting what it's called. Trap Tracks. There you go. You could Trap Tracks, set Trickstar Reincarnation from the deck now because it requires at least 2 copies in your deck, and then you could also Trap Trick it from your deck as you have additional copies. So there's so much more you can now do with this now that it's playable at more than 1. Absolutely insane. But anyway, Butler allows you to activate the Reincarnation right away in any deck. You could just set it down and then combo up with a Droll and Lockbird. So let's say they were to Maxx you, right? You then Butler set the Trickstar Reincarnation, you special summon, they draw, you then flip up the Reincarnation and then chain Droll and Lockbird to it, and wham bam, thank you ma'am, you win. But Trickstar itself, I'm sorry there's so much to say about this. I just like, this is kind of exciting, this one card being unlimited. For the deck itself, you have a card called Lycoris. Each time a card is added to your opponent's hand, inflict 200 damage to them for each, and you could have multiple copies of Lycoris. So I guess for Trickstar themselves, congratulations. You could now, I guess, more easily burn with Lycoris and or just use the effect to reborn a Trickstar from the grave. I'm expecting a lot of funny shenanigans with this, and, you know, it's actually going to be quite toxic, I believe, but we will find out more when it's actually unbanned, or maybe we're going to see people use it within the tournament this Sunday. I would love to see that. Now, let's hop on to some more changes. That's a lot just on this one card. Jeez. We have White Dragon Wyverburster. Wyverburster is back to 3 from 1. This is going to be great for Dragon Link. This card was banned because of Dragon Link, and then it came back limited to 1, and now we could play it at 3, or at least up to 3, that is. So congratulations to Dragon Links, but Chaos Ruler is probably still going to be banned unless they unban it in this ban list. Let's find out. What else we have? Floowandereeze and Empin. Ain't no way this card is now unlimited. What's so crazy about this is that it's not been hit in any other format, nor are the other Floowandereeze cards currently hit in the other format. The Floowandereeze field spell is still currently hit, but I don't know if it's going to be unlimited within this ban list. We'll be looking through the ban list to find that out. The Floowandereeze Empin itself is a mini floodgate, as special summon monsters in attack position cannot activate their effect, but I believe the Empin itself, that floodgate effect, is not too toxic. In fact, I think the Floowandereeze deck type is good for new players. It really does teach them trigger effects and priorities with the triggers on either player's turn as they're happening like crazy, and you could then take that game knowledge into other decks and other games. And the deck is also very cheap to build. I think that's probably one of the main reasons why the deck got hit so heavily, due to it being so prominent and so cheap. It probably was hurting Konami's wallet a bit. And this deck, Floowandereeze, also got some pot cards hit. I think Pot of Duality was hit because of Floowandereeze. It's crazy. So let's look at the TCG stats. As we could see, Floowandereeze obviously playing it at 100% because it was limited to 1. But in the TCG, they're 100% playing it at 2. So as you can see here, some YCS tops, kind of recent ones, 2024 November. We then go into the OCG stats, 80% playing it at 2, 20% at 1. And then here are some of the OCG tops. Here's a 240-player tournament, just like that. As you can see, the Floowandereeze map at 3. They need it. They want it at 3. They have triple Pot of Duality. We do not have triple Duality. I think we should be blaming Floowandereeze for the Pot of Prosperity being limited to 1. I think, Pot of P is now banned, I think, in Master Duel. I got to remember that. Let me look that up real quick. Pot of P, yeah, banned in Master Duel. So it got limited to 1 because of Floowandereeze and then banned. Yeah, rip the pot from a while ago. Let's hop on to the rest of the ban list and see if the field spell is going to be unhit. I don't want to highlight it. Let's see. Quick Launch. What is going on with Dragon Link? Quick Launch is great because it's not a hard once per turn. You can activate it multiple times. They ash the first activation, you activate another. Or let's say they ash one of your main plays, you then follow up with a Quick Launch. So it's either bait the ash or play around the ash. This helps Dragon Link and, not only that card, but also the Wyverbursters. They help Dragon Link become a lot more hand trap resilient. So this is a very nice buff for Dragon Link. But again, where's Chaos Ruler? Not that they need it. Maybe these changes will be enough. Let's keep on moving down. What do you have? Sky Striker Mecha Hornet Drones. What? From 1 to 3. What is going on here? Now, your initial reaction to this could be, I don't care about Sky Striker. Well, now you should, because this is not about Sky Striker so much as I believe other decks that are going to be able to use and abuse this. Now, while I did not play when Hornet Drones got hit, I think it probably got hit because of how techable it is in so many other decks. How could this be good in other decks? Well, I'm thinking of a lot of things right now. Let's click on this over to TCG, and this is exclusive to Master Duel. Only in Master Duel is the Hornet Drones fully unlimited. That is crazy. So let's paint this picture for you. Let's open up, let's type in Sky Striker. I'm on Yu-Gi-Oh! Meta so I don't get spoiled on the bans. You activate Hornet Drones, which is only activatable if you have no monsters in your main monster zone. And because all of the Sky Striker cards have that condition in order to activate the card, none of them are hard once per turn. You just have to fulfill that requirement. You then get to keep activating. Now, the Hornet Drones is going to special summon a token into the main monster zone, and then you would not be able to activate another one, right? Well, you're going to turn the token into a Kagari, and then Kagari's going to add back the Hornet Drones. And then, because Kagari's pointing in the up left, that's not good. We're going to turn it into, let's say, a Kana or a Hayate. Stick with me. If you don't care about Sky Striker, I promise you will care about this combo. And then, because they point backwards, you're going to use Hornet Drones again, turn it into another Sky Striker, and then, are you ready? Anaconda. One card Anaconda. If I could spell Anaconda correctly. The big reveal, nothing. Misspelled Anaconda. Anaconda, one card. You did not even use up your normal summon. One Hornet Drones could do this. So you're now able to make an Anaconda into a Dragoon off of the one Hornet Drones. And not only do you have the Hornet Drones, you also have the Engage. So you're going to have 3 Sky Striker Engage, or here's the default art that is, and then 3 Hornet Drones. That's 6 cards, which will be further justifying all the Sky Strikers you have to put in your extra deck in order to want to play these cards. And if you play enough other spells in your deck, we're looking at non-Sky Striker decks drawing multiple cards with Engage. And if you're going to be teching in 3 Hornet Drones and 3 Engage into your non-Sky Striker deck, you may as well take it a little bit farther. Where's the Sky Striker Widow? Widow Anchor. Widow Anchor. Let's type this in correctly. They got a bunch of weird wording. There you go. Widow Anchor. You could do 1 Widow Anchor, 3 Hornet Drones, 3 Engage into a random deck. Now, just for Anaconda, we have more. Nightmare Phoenix the 2-card combos we saw here. Now, you don't have to go into the other token turning into another Sky Striker. The Nightmare Phoenix can be made with the Kagari plus the token because it doesn't require effect monsters to make the link. Now, why do we care about this? You care about this because of making Nightmare Mermaid. So the 1-card Hornet Drones is a 1-card mermaid, which goes into the whole Orcus engine. You saw on the tier list on Master Meta, Orcus at tier 3, doing well in some tournaments recently, as you can now 1 card go into Mermaid, 1 card into Anaconda. But wait, there's something else. This could be a setup for Fiendsmith. How could this be for Fiendsmith? It's now a 1-card Fiendsmith play. You could go into the Closed Heaven Moon. It requires 2 effect monsters, right? So we do the Sky Striker dance to get 2 Sky Strikers on the field. You make a Moon in the Closed Heaven. You then make your Fiendsmith Requiem, and you 1 card without using up your normal summon, and that you could play essentially 6 copies of because of Engage. You now have no normal summoned into a Fiendsmith full wombo combo for when this deck comes out. This is going to be very interesting to see all the people that go into Anaconda, into Orcus, into Fiendsmith when that comes out. And you tell me what other cool combos you think there is with Hornet Drones. And if you're a Sky Striker fan, I'm sorry that I didn't mention Sky Striker itself, the cool combos you can do with that. I just don't know. You tell me, is Sky Striker going to even play more than, maybe they will still? Yeah, I guess. You tell me what Sky Striker could do. I was just thinking about the other decks. Now, let's hop on over to the rest of the band. These unlimits are really spicy. What is going on with Konami? Okay, all right, let's compose ourselves. Let's keep on going. We have Herald of Orange Light. Okay, let's talk about this card. Herald of Orange Light is going to, when your opponent activates a monster effect, you can discard this card and another fairy to negate the activation and destroy it. It negating the activation means it could be used in the damage step where a card like Ash Blossom cannot. And this card was immensely broken with the Ishizu cards. So let's go to Yu-Gi-Oh! Meta so I don't spoil myself. On Master Meta, we type in Exchange of the Spirit. That should bring up all the Ishizu cards. There you go. The Kelbeck, banned in Master Duel. The Agito, banned in Master Duel. Keldo, limited to 1 in Master Duel. And Mudora, limited to 1 in Master Duel. These all being fairies would be comboed up with the Herald of Orange Light to be used with the immensely powerful Tearlament. Tearlament Tier 0 was making turn 0 plays with the Herald of Orange Light, negating your monster effect and then triggering big plays like Kelbeck now Mill 5 or Agito Mill 5, and then going to Kick-Cal, Rukalos, Kaleido Heart, all these massive plays on their turn 0, aka your very first turn, and then you lose the whole duel. So what was the play? To just not activate monster effects? But now that we're beyond Tearlament, Herald of Orange Light was also good before Tearlament, and that was with Drytron. Drytron was using and abusing the Ultimateness. So there's a lot of history to this card. The Ultimateness is this: per fairy you have in your hand, you have that many negate and destroys. absolutely absurd that Konami allowed this to be a top tier deck on the release of Master Duel. I think it turned away so many people that wanted to get into Master Duel. What the heck, Konami? But again, we are beyond Drytron being a good deck, so Herald of Orange Light could definitely come back. And congratulations to, let's say, maybe Melodious now wants to play it. That's good. Melodious is a good deck right now. Even putting it into Madolche. So I would say if you're a Madolche fan, Melodious fan, you are very happy about the Herald of Orange Light change. Another card I would like to see maybe come is the Summon a Psychic from the deck. What is that? Emergency Teleport, right? We do have, I'm not going to actually highlight it. Maybe it is going to get unlimited. We're still looking at changes. But talking about rogue decks, maybe Emergency Teleport for, you know, if you like Gold Pride or some other Psychic. Maybe because Ritual Beast is actually doing too well in Master Duel, at least in the monthly ladder, and also did quite well in the Duelist Cup. It also does quite well in tournaments. Yeah, you know what? Actually, we can't get Emergency Teleport, but let's find out. Let me close some tabs because we haven't even got to the restrictions, and I'm already popping off. I'm very sorry about that. Let's keep on going. Okay, that's it for Unlimited. So nothing, no to the Emergency Teleport. That's fine. Cards to be limited. Wait. Whoa. We skip semi-limit. We skip unlimited to limit. Nothing semi-limited. Okay. And I already saw it. Chandra to 1. Wow. How could anyone have saw this coming after it was limited to 1 in the TCG and the OCG? Of course this was coming. I said this is coming because of that. And that is a big deal. Very good. That is going, a lot of people are going to be happy about this. Did it kill the deck in the TCG and OCG though? Well, we could take that look. If we look at the TCG stats here and we go on to, let's say, the tier list, Tenpai still a top 2 deck in the TCG. And how about the OCG? In the OCG, Tenpai has fallen quite a bit. And if we click on to their deck types, I think they're hit more severely. The Chandra limited to 1, the Sangen Summoning limited to 1. Any other really massive hits there? So I guess we'd have to have the Sangen Summoning and Chandra also hit to be as impactful the OCG. And the TCG, as you can see, the deck is still doing quite well. Wait, they also have Chandra and Sangen Summoning at 1. All right, you know, it seems like that, you know, the deck is definitely still good, even with Chandra at 1. So, sure, let's hop on over. I mean, wait, the stats saying that 82% at 3. Maybe that hit was quite recent, right? Yeah, actually, I'm wrong. Very recently, they just got the hit. So I actually have to sort by the latest tier, the change of the ban list. Post ban list December 10th. Yeah, now it falls. Okay. It was a brand new change for also in the TCG, which is quite interesting that we pretty much got Chandra hit at the same time as the TCG. So there you go. Now it makes more sense. That's fine. So it did actually massively impact the deck. I take that all back. I was reading the analytics incorrectly. It just happened in the TCG. Raziel's clapping up in both formats, that is. Let's hop on over. All right, Chandra to 1. Let's see. Sangen Summoning also to 1. TCG, OCG, and Master Duel. The problem is we don't have terraforming. They at least have terraforming in the TCG and in the OCG. Looking over there, so they already have 2 copies of Sangen Summoning. We truly have just 1. 1 Sangen Summoning, 1 Chandra. Well, okay, the TCG also had it even more worse. The Kaiman got limited to 1, and, you know, I did just highlight it, so we now know that in Master Duel did not also get hit. That'd be quite crazy. I think TCG went too far with limiting all 3. In the OCG, though, yeah, I think 1 Sangen Summoning and 1 Chandra is just right. And the deck is still good. It's not slaughtered, though. Now, let's go on back over. I would assume that is the only hits, right? Unless I didn't highlight Pydra or Fadra. There's no reason to hit Fadra. Would they semi-limit Pydra? We already skipped semi-limits. I don't think they would limit to 1 the Pydra, though. Okay, let's keep on going. All right. Sangen Summoning. What? No semi-limits and no bans, no Maxx, we're gonna have 9 Maxx's. No freaking way. Going to OCG stats here, Tenpai, for example. Look, Purelia, Fualos, and Maxx. They have Maxx at 2. So unfortunately, they can only play 8 Maxx's. But in Master Duel, we have 9 Maxx's. What is actually the prevalence of the Mulcharmies and Maxx's? Let's see this. If we go into the tier list here on Yu-Gi-Oh! Meta, we could look at text to see what's going on in the past month. In the past month, the Fualos is 50% usage in the TCG. No of the Purelia, not as used as much. Now let's go on over to the side deck in TCG. The Fualos is 23% in the side deck. Purelia is at 45% in the side deck. And we have no side deck in Master Duel, so maybe people are going to now decide to main it instead if they decide the card is worth playing enough. So you have with the Fualos 50% plus the 23, that's going to be a 73% usage total. And then we go on over to OCG, starting off with the side deck. Their side deck and Fualos at 33%, and then they're main decking it at 51%. That's going to be over 80% usage for the Fualos. The Purelia is in the side deck 29%. Let's look at the main deck. In the main deck, there's no Purelia. So I know the meme is funny that we say Maxx is now at 9. I think that it actually is going to be Maxx at 8. Not 8, not 6. Sorry, I'm off math. Fualos at 3. 3 Maxx, 3 Fualos. I don't think people are going to be playing as much Purelia unless they're a go second deck. If they're a deck like Tenpai, which I still think Tenpai is in a great position. They still have Kaiman at 3. Tenpai is going to be great still, but now they have more room for triple Maxx, triple Purelia, and triple Fualos. What really is going to be the impact of this? I think it's going to be massive. The Fualos, of course, being the better one. Every time the opponent summons from the deck or extra deck, you get to draw 1. But you also get to activate more than 1 copy of the Fualos in the same turn. Just 2, though, not 3. So let me paint this picture for you on how disgusting this is. Let's just look at a regular top-tier deck. We'll click on, let's say, Ritual Beast, okay? Looking at Ritual Beast, they are playing against the opposing player, and Ritual Beast opened up a Call by the Grave and an Ash Blossom. Great. What does that mean? They're not going to be really disrupted by hand traps, especially not Maxx, except for something like Impermanence. So for the Call by the Grave, I activate a Fualos. And then you're going to finger the Fualos. Sure? Okay. Fualos is about to get fingered on Chain Link 2. But I then activate my second copy of Fualos. All right, well, you have an Ash Blossom. So your Ash and your Called By fingers both of the Fualoses that were in my hand. Well, now I follow up and activate my Maxx. So normally, having 1 Ash, 1 Called By, just one of them was able to stop the Maxx. They wouldn't chain another one because you could not. But there is the second version of the Maxx is activatable more than once per turn. You can activate 2 Fualos and 1 Maxx in the same turn. So between the Ash Blossom and the Called by the Grave, you need 3 copies total, and the Ash Blossom's a hard once per turn. Now, we do have the help of Crossout Designate. So between Crossout Designate, 2 Call by the Graves, and Ash Blossom, you need to have 3 in your hand to fully stop a Fualos into a Fualos Maxx play. And just a troll, all right? This is what I would do, okay? Please don't get mad at me for giving this advice to anyone that wants to play Fualos and Maxx. So you now have your multiple fingers, right? You got 2 fingers, you got your Ash, you got your Crossout Designate to help stop my double Fualos and my Maxx. And let's say I'm also in this troll deck. I'm going to play Purelia. Let's do that too. You're not going to like this. You're going to be unhappy, all right? You got the fingers. I am now going to also play, and I'm sorry, I'm going to play Bell. I'm going to play Bell. Bell is now going to negate your finger. So you finger my Fualos, I Bell it. So then the first Fualos about to go through. You finger it again. I chain my second copy of Fualos. You then Ash it. And then I now chain my Maxx. So you would ideally have to have 2 Called by the Graves, 1 Ash Blossom, and a Crossout Designate just to stop my Fualos, Bell, and Maxx combo. That is ridiculous. I don't even know what's going to happen when this set comes out. Oh my goodness. At the start of January 8th is when the pack is. Essentially then we're going to have a tournament on that day, and we're going to see how crazy the Mulcharmies actually end up being. Again, I don't think everyone's going to be playing the Pirellia, but I do think most people will be playing Floowandereeze alongside the Maxx. And now I think Ghost Spell stocks probably go up due to how much more important the finger is for negating the Floowandereeze and Maxx and being comboed up with the Ash Blossom. And then we have the Trickstar Reincarnation combo, a Drone Lockbird. There's a lot of really interesting stuff with this ban. It's a very small ban list, but immensely impactful, I think, is the Hornet Drones, and then, of course, the Tenpai stuff. The other things will to be seen. I don't think that the Floowandereeze Empanada 2 is that massive of a deal. If the field spell were to have become unlimited, that would have been great. Herald of Orange Light is great support for the more roguish decks, or even, Melodious is pretty up there and good. There's going to be a lot of toxicity and craziness with the Trickstar Reincarnation, banishing your entire hand. I guarantee you, there's going to be a Reddit video about, oh my goodness, look what they did to me. And all the comments are going to be like, how'd that work? No way. How'd they banish your whole hand? That's crazy. Now, let's look at the Wyverburster and look at Dragon Link real quick. If we go on to, how do we see the Dragon Link when it was used at 2 or 3, more than 2. If we do the all-time load, this performance may be an impact. This is going to be like 1,000,000 decks we are loading. I could use this search feature. The search feature is going to be the copies with Wyverburster and how many. So we're going to type Wyverburster *3 to see if we could find when Dragon Link was playing the card at 3. I think people were just playing it at 2. So stick with me on this load. There's so many decks we're about to see. I can't even imagine. 20,000, 50,000. This is from the absolute beginning of time. All right, please load. Am I gonna have to contact a developer this late at night? Please not. All right, the anticipation is now killing me. Let me make sure I could spell Wyverburster correctly. Wyverb. There we go. And then we're gonna have the *3. So right now there's nothing because it's not loading. And let's actually, oh boy. Are we breaking the entire site? Probably. Come on. Load the decks. Give me the decks. 53,000 decks. That's crazy. Now, Wyverburster at 3. This was quite the search. We have some Dragon Link that was in fact playing it at 3. If you could see there, Wyverburster at 3, Collapse Serpent at 1, Wyverburster at 3, Collapse Serpent at 2. We have about 4 pages of Wyverburster being played at 3. Now let's switch it to 2. Wyverburster at 2. It skyrockets way more. So it's not so much that people are going to be playing Wyverburster at 3. They're going to just be happy with the option to play it at 3. They'll mostly be playing it at 2. I think that is going to be probably the more optimal ratio on the way to play it. Now, let's see what some of the comments are on this ban list. Tenpai hit, let's go. And Flu is back, baby. Y'all need to have faith on Konami. I would encourage you all to hold back on celebrating the Tenpai nerfs. I don't think you all fully understand how actually insanely powerful Tenpai is, even with these changes, even with not having terraforming. Even if Sangen Summoning was banned, I think the deck would still be incredible. If they have the Kaiman at 3 and Sangen Summoning were to be banned, I think Tenpai Dragon would still be a top tier deck. This is definitely nothing to scoff at in thinking that this will actually be a massively meaningful hit to Tenpai. It's definitely going to still be on the tier list, and I'm ready to eat my words if it's not. I think it will be top tier for a long time. Now, let's see what else we got here. Sky Striker no longer has any cards on the list. Yeah, all of Sky Striker fully unhit. And then you have a deck like Floowandereeze, where they're hit on the map. What's going on there? I'm very sorry, Floowandereeze players. And then now you have Pirellia, which hard counters this deck for the few people that will actually be main deck in the Pirellia, which will be the go second decks like Tenpai. 9 Maxx. Yup. Tenpai will have 9 Maxx. Regular decks will have 6 Maxx. You know, we all were not supposed to know that the Mulcharmies were coming next week. It really makes this ban list hit differently for me. And oh my goodness, this is going to be absolute madness. So thank you all for watching this video. I greatly appreciate it. I'll see you on the January pack leak stream this Sunday as we play with the new ban list $1,000 tournament qualifier. We are out.